Hey, it's Brian Lake back with Stuff for Your Life. And let's look at the biggest waste of time we regret when we get older. I'm just turned 50 last year, and I tell you what, there are a lot of things, even I daily do, that I'm like, good grief, really? So we spend a lot of time. So let's see what this author thinks. I don't know how many are in here. This is from getpocket.com by Christy Wong. I don't know how old she is, but hey. We spend a lot of energy looking for shortcuts to save time, and sure, those shortcuts add up. But when I look back, my biggest time regrets aren't spending too much time on Twitter or mismanaging my okay, there aren't. Those are bad habits, but there are bigger, more systematic time wasters that are really getting in the way. Yeah, I can't make it to the gym anymore in the morning. Not asking for help. My first week on the job out of university, my boss handed me a huge spreadsheet. He told me to organize it in a way that made zero sense to me. Being quiet, timid, so you didn't ask for help. Finally, my coworker came in. I confessed I had no idea what to do. He broke it down for me, then dropped some advice that stuck with me. You might feel dumb, ask questions, but you look dumber when you don't get it because you failed to ask. It was harsh but true. Not only did I look like an arse, I could have also saved a fair amount of time that day by simply asking my boss what he meant. Clarification. Let me see that I understand. This is where reflective listening is very great, because you can say, here's what I hear. Here's what I hear you saying. Here's what I understand. And then let them correct you. Simply asking for help is a great way to, get help. This is why networking and finding a mentor are hugely valuable. I wish I had a mentor. I sort of did it in a couple of points in my life, very, very briefly though. And but I never found a mentor for what I wanted to do, just what I needed at the moment. It's very strange. If you're stuck in your career and you need to learn new skills and have no idea how to get started, talking to other people in your field, again, in your field, that's very important. Sometimes it's not though. 2 or 3 sentences of honest appreciation. There's a reason why you're asking for someone to help. They have a lot of experience in that field, worked on a startup idea related to what you're working on. One sentence that states a single focused question people can give you an answer to. Right, and don't ask leading questions, but don't ask yes or no questions. Should I do this? That's not a good question. Why should I do this is a better question. So let's go on to the next one. Trying to make bad relationships work. Many years ago, I had this going on, and finally it broke up, and the relationship was gone. But I have had friends since then that something happened, and sometimes there's no coming back from that. So I require maintenance, but there's a difference between maintaining a good relationship and trying to force a bad one that doesn't work, make much sense. I saw this on a Medea. It's one of Tyler Perry's, it was a play. And I don't remember what it was, maybe they made it in a movie. I don't remember what it was, but Medea says, you're trying to hold on to somebody who's meant to be in your life for a season, not for years. And so part of it can be very, very painful. But, and I know I've digressed from the article, but I'm just putting my own 2 cents in here. Yeah, sometimes it's you have to move on, and it can be really, really difficult. So there's good ways to make a relationship work, but those aren't good ones. There are good reasons. There's a lot of emotion in romance and friendships. So sometimes it's hard to tell when you're trying to keep or you should just call it quits. That can be true. Like a lot of people, I made some common mistakes, bad decisions that wasted my time. They cloud your judgment. Again, especially if the person's very constantly negative, or negative energy. It can be very difficult, especially if it's a family member. But if they're just draining your energy, you got to. And it may be one of these things. It's you don't do cold turkey. You just spend less time with them, and maybe over time you just kind of dwell apart. Dwelling on your mistakes and shortcomings. This is one that, as a perfectionist, that I have had for a long, long time, and sometimes still crops up. Sometimes good enough is good enough. Learning from your mistakes is one thing. Dwelling on them and basically beating yourself up something you did 20, 30 years ago. You can't change anything about it at all. So dwelling also makes you more apt to repeat your mistakes. Basically, you want to concentrate on your successes. Before shopping, some subjects were asked to recall a past financial mistake. They found those subjects were more likely to incur debt. This is the problem I have with the debt-free stuff. When you're concentrating on your debt, you just ignore your wealth, and your debt grows, and your wealth dwindles. It's amazing. The thing that gets your attention, the thing that you concentrate on, will grow. So if you're trying to grow your debt, get out of your debt, and that's all you're harped on, it remarkably will grow. You'll have things happen that are going to cause you to keep going in debt. Perhaps the most surprising, Hayes said, is that searching through the past can negatively affect behavior depending on the ease of recall even when past examples are positive. Instead of dwelling on the past, Hayes said, her research into behavior suggests that setting goals for the future can positively change present behavior. In short, if you want to have better self-control, look forward, don't look back. Just start setting little reminders, small little goals, small little wins. When you think about your own experiences, it probably makes sense. Dwelling makes you feel like a failure, as it can. Of course, let's just skip ahead. In order to get to the past, you must forgive yourself officially. That right there can be very, very difficult. Feel the embarrassment of shame one final time. I know people that'll like put stuff, their regrets and different things on a piece of paper, and they will forgive themselves, and they'll burn the paper, and they'll keep the "you are forgiven" part, and they'll burn the other part, and it sometimes helps. I stayed in a comfortable place. I went to travel after high school and went to a university close to home instead because I was too shy. Eventually I got tired of this. Okay, so even if I failed, I learned from my mistakes much sooner. Worrying too much about other people. What would other people think of me? What would other people do? Sometimes, especially when you're first starting in your career, and even later, sometimes someone's opinion of you can get you fired, even if it's a bad opinion. Well, you know what? That's their fault, and move on. Find a new job. It's easy to waste time, and this is thank him for someone who's been fired several times. It's easy to waste time worrying about other people. Don't get me wrong, your friends and loved ones mean a lot to you, and you spend a lot of time with them, but also spend a lot of time fretting over problems that doesn't matter in the long run. For example, I spent years getting annoyed with people who undermined me, complained about them, tried to understand them. Wondered what was wrong with me. They own that behavior. Time wasting, emotion, jealousy. I compared myself to everyone and get tangled up in my cord. Like most negative, destructive feelings, the first and biggest step to overcome it is to understand it. I paid attention to my jealousy and what triggered it. Then I learned it was less about the other person and more about my feelings of inadequacy. Yep. Again, this is kind of beating yourself up. I'm just going to skip to this is the last one. The question is, why do you want it in your life? I like the use of the 5 whys. When handling a question like this, whenever I'm trying to answer a why question, I repeat it 5 times, asking it of the answer I come up with for each question. Okay. All right. This is, I don't know. Once you understand why you feel jealous or envious, you can take action to take care of the problem, whether this means processing the emotions or come up with goals for yourself. Again, goals comes up yet again. You know what I mean? So there we go. And let's see, we have a handful of 3 comments, and I can only get to 2 of them. It sounds like it might be clickbait, but this article, this piece article delivers. I guess he doesn't speak English as a native language. Anyway, these are some interesting time wasters. Sometimes it's being completely unorganized, and so something that should take you an hour takes you 4 days, and you waste a lot of time. You keep doing that over and over and over again. Next thing you know, you're 50 years old and you haven't done crap with your life. So what do you think? Do you think these are good time wasters? Are you young and looking at, hey, I have some of these problems, I'm going to try and deal with them? Or you're like, yeah, this whole article was a waste of time, and this whole video was a waste of time, and I'm going to share it everywhere to say how much of a waste of time it was. That'd be awesome. Thank you very much. Goodbye. All right, let's see if we can get a little further this time. All right. Yeah, I know. That was all screwed. We'll do that one next. All right. 3, 2, and 1.